All right, welcome back, race fans. Here we are live at Auto Club to wrap up Auto Club week here with the SimPossible Racing League Cup Series here on Wednesday night. My name is Carlos Acosta, and joining me in the booth is none other than the legendary Dave Wilson. Dave, how are you doing today?
Oh, I'm doing great, Carlos. Thank you. It's this race is going to be a really close one. It seems all the times are really close in practice, and I know from my race last night and the race on Monday is going to be quite a show here tonight, and it's going to be a fun one to watch for sure, and going to be a fun one to commentate.
You don't have to lie, Dave. I know I know we're gonna have some fun action, but this is a track that you personally do not get along well with. I know you had a race last night and a race the day before, but still, other than that, you had a pretty good running there last night. Unfortunately, I believe you made a mistake on the last lap, Dave. I don't know if we're gonna talk about that. The race in general.
Yeah, it was definitely a fun race, but definitely on these cold conditions, whenever you're racing in the pack, it's just really tight. So lifting is going to be key here, racing in the draft, and if you don't lift, then it will get tight up whenever you're racing in below somebody. So it's going to be interesting to see if these drivers can keep it down in the bottom. I'm pretty sure they can. These guys are always doing an awesome job every week, so they always end up battling every fight that comes with them. So it's definitely gonna be a really fun one to be racing in. Even I wish I was tonight, but I'm up here because I didn't want to leave Carlos alone tonight.
Ah, thank you. You don't have to do that, but excuse me there. Trying to figure this thing out right here. Yeah, Auto Club Speedway here. We're just about to wrap up the practice session. Not much different here. To change to talk about Kyle Zimmer currently the fastest driver, but what we can talk about are the current point standings for the series. As what I have so far is actually Kyle Zimmer being the points leader. Of course, we're only 2 races in, so it's not going to be that much of a differential. As he currently has, I believe, oh, there we go. He has a 3-point lead over Billy Wise. Billy Wise currently doing a great job in second place. Eddie Hawks won a couple races both in the B Series and the Cup Series. AJ Digby in fourth. They both, and actually you're also tied for fourth, but that's going to change after this race. Tom Johnson's in the B6. Fernando Mato 7th. Tim Masters 8th. Travis Zudema in 9th. Oh, also tied for 8th. And Tanner Sharp is currently 10th. And Tanner Sharp definitely is going to be one of those drivers that wants to improve on that point standing. Of course, only 2 races in, it's not going to be much of a difference. But you were talking about restarts here in Auto Club and driving around. But now that we're in qualifying, Dave, what do you recommend for posting a fast lap here?
Definitely on the out lap, you just want to try to run the top because just to get that speed up, and then once you go to that second lap, you want to be on the bottom coming to the front stretch. And once you start doing your full lap going in the corners, you don't really want to lift too much on that fast lap. You'll definitely lose a bit of time. You kind of want to arc it into the corner as well. You can hug the bottom, but you may not get the best run out. So there's a lot of variables in this on this track, and it's a really tough one to race. So all these guys in this qualifying session and race are going to do a great job, I can just imagine.
Well said, well said. We're currently seeing a bunch of drivers going out on track, and we usually have about 3/4 of the drivers actually do post laps, and then we have the remainders that usually like to hang out in the back. Of course, tonight's race being a lot longer than what we ran here on Mondays. I'm going to get the lap information here in just a little bit. Of course, last week we did end up seeing, I believe, Kyle Zimmer take the win. Excuse me, I'm trying to figure out where the lap information is. Of course, also new with the series and the league this season is the changes to fuel percentage and the changes to incident fast repairs. There we go. That's what it's called. Quick repairs. 100 laps here tonight. The fuel percentage is going to be cut in half, so it's a 50% fuel, and we'll get to that in a moment. Actually, no, we'll get to that right now. How does the short fuel percentage affect you guys during a race compared to how it would in a normal race?
It's definitely different, and it is quite fun to try out this season. And yeah, it does add a lot more strategy because you will kind of want to. It's more so how many tires you're going to take on pit road too. Do you want to take 4 to try to get the best long run, or do you want to take 2 at the very end to try to see if you can squeeze ahead the leader and just try to hold that lead for like the last 5 or so laps? But yeah, it definitely adds a lot to the race and a lot more experience in the race too. It definitely. It kind of does benefit some people more than others. The people that are used to saving their car a bit more, they got to try to push a little bit more on the runs just because of how short these fuel runs really are. But so far in the season, they've been doing an awesome job, and I'm excited to see what the season brings too.
All right, well said, well said. And the next thing we actually wanted to talk about, or I wanted to bring up, would be the fast repairs restriction. You guys started off SimPossible with unlimited fast repairs, and of course, as you guys continue to run races and get better, you guys started dropping that amount. Last season, you guys ran 4, and this season, you guys have been running 2. How is that also affecting the way you guys approach these races?
It definitely makes you a little bit more cautious. You don't want to be driving too hard underneath people. Just trying to give a little bit more room at the beginning to try to save those fast repairs for whenever they're needed. Uh, yeah, these guys have been doing awesome all last year. The amount of cautions per race definitely went down quite a bit throughout the season, and it's showing this season as well how they're just able to run so well. And yeah, the fast repairs, it definitely does bring in more strategy too, because if you do get a little bit of damage, do you want to risk using that fast repair and just try to see if you can make it throughout the race with 1, or do you want to just take the optional repairs and see what you can do with that?
Yeah, and we have seen drivers kind of go split strategy on that. Even some carrying a bunch of early race damage all the way to the end of the race, just because they could actually not get a good time to actually come down pit road and get it repaired, because either they would come down too early and you can also risk of getting damaged again, or they may not get a caution even till the end of the race, or the race will be over before a caution comes out. So it's kind of a not really a risk versus reward. It's kind of like just gambling in a way. You kind of hope that the caution doesn't come out. But quickly here, so far, 23 seconds before qualifying does wrap up, it looks like Eddie Hawks might just be your pole winner. I'm not seeing anybody else on track with enough speed to make a difference. AJ Digby currently in second, Matos third, Zimmer fourth, Catella fifth. Sharp it looks like he's going to be starting sixth, Thomas Wise seventh. Or sorry, pardon me, that's Billy Wise in seventh, Masters in eighth, Thomas Wise in ninth, and Berardi will be the last one there in 10th places. Actually, that's exactly what's going to happen there. As qualifying is now over. We're going to wait a little bit for the drivers here to grid up, and we went into some details. Weather's just a little bit different compared to how it was last night. 65 degrees, 88 track temperature. It's actually not that far off, but it's still just a little bit different, although these guys are going to be battling with some more wind. As something you did mention how restarts affected, but for the initial start of the race, or just in general in details, you what's your approach for restarts? Of course, the restarts last night are going to be different than the restarts in here, but just how would you approach each restart?
It's definitely going to be different throughout the race as well, and if whether these guys want to save their tires or not. And yeah, I think it's kind of hard to push your car because of how cold the tires are, and it's definitely going to be really tight coming out of turn 4 if they go full throttle throughout the entire corner. There's definitely going to be some lifting in the first I don't know 1 or 2 laps. Then after that, they can start pushing a bit more. Definitely though, in the draft, you're going to want to let off, and the tires. Yeah, it's gonna be more so air base. It seems at the start, really, and restarts in general. It's just how cold they are, and depending on the track temps, will really depend on how this line goes.
All right, well said, well said. Well, we're gonna go ahead and actually go through the starting grid, as that's the wrong button. I'm still remembering some stuff here, but Eddie Hawks is going to be your pole winner with AJ Digby out starting in second place. Third place will be Fernando Matos with Kyle Zimmer in fourth. Row number 3 will have Nick Catella and Tanner Sharp on his outside. Row number 4 will have Billy Wise and Tim Masters. Row number 5 will have Thomas Wise and Johnny Berardi. So So the Wise family is pretty close there together. As actually those are the 10 drivers that actually posted a lap time. We do have 17 drivers that did sign up and register for the server. Tom Johnson, Kevin Cochran, Travis Zudema, Doug McCollum, James Safa, Alan Capers, and Brian Lowhead. None of these drivers posted a lap for whichever reason. More often than not, they usually just don't want to put in a lap time. Now, Dave, I don't know if you had a chance to talk to some of these guys that don't put a lap time, but on purpose at least. Why would these guys want to do that?
It's more so just trying to see if any carnage at the beginning and trying to avoid that early, because taking damage early will definitely hurt you throughout the race. And if they don't want to use a fast repair too early, then yeah, it would make sense to start at the back. And some of these guys do it almost every race, and I don't blame them for it. Sometimes you just need to do that, and you're not too comfortable racing in the group, so. It's all kind of personal preference. Starting in the back, it can be beneficial, and it has turned out to be beneficial in some of these races that I've seen. So, yeah, it's gonna be interesting to see how these guys do, though.
All right. Well, since as these drivers are going into turn number 3, we are going to be going green this time by for the initial start of the race. Eddie Hawks is a driver that has. He's been wowing me so far this season. Got the pole. He's already got a win both in the B Car Series and the Cup Series. He's really been stepping it up this season, and he's going to be my pick tonight to win the race. Pace Car is going to get ready to pull off as these drivers are getting ready to hit the gas here for the first time tonight, and it's going to be an exciting race. Green flag is out, and the drivers are all going to be crossing the start-finish line. No.
Yeah, we see quite a few people. It's still side by side for the lead right now between AJ Digby and Eddie Hawks. I think it's Tanner Sharp is that on the outside in position 4 outside of Kyle Zimmer.
17.
Oh, we have a car on the wall. Tim Masters on the wall spinning. Caution is out.
Ooh, heavy damage for the beautiful hand-designed paint scheme there of the 9. We're gonna go ahead and go take a look at the replay and see just what happened. I saw Fernando Matos going below the white line. Something was up with some of these drivers. That has got to be a mechanical failure, maybe on his rig or whatever happened, because that car just it just turns kind of just straight up into the outside wall. Like as if the controller got disconnected or the servo got disconnected.
Yeah, it's definitely interesting to see. That does unfortunately happen, and it's very unfortunate for it to happen this early on. And I'm sure that Tim will be able to come back down pit road, get his damage fixed with a fast repair, and be on his way for the rest of this race.
Yeah, that was definitely strange indeed. As we saw the 17 go below the apron, the 32 also went below the apron. It seemed like something was almost like as if there was oil on the racetrack. Of course, iRacing doesn't have oil as of now, at least. Perfect camera angle right there, just beautiful. That's gonna get me an award. Let's go on board and see, maybe we can see what happened. Kind of looks like maybe he turned it all the way, and maybe like the wheel came off the base, because that's happened to me sometimes where the wheel just come off the base. Actually, I don't know. I actually don't know if Tim even uses a wheel, but it just looked like something happened with his controls or whatever controls he was using to race these vehicles. But yeah, something weird there for sure.
Yeah, it's give more so. Or I guess we're just gonna have to hope that doesn't happen throughout this race at all, or with anybody else. It definitely sucks being damaged at the beginning, and these I know for a fact it's really hurtful. And with all these guys being as fast as they are, it's gonna be hard to get back up through the field and try to get back into that good position that he was in.
Yeah, that being said, unlike last night with the American Sim Racing Series, these guys here do have 2 fast repairs, which we already talked about that earlier. So, Tim Masters' night isn't done quite yet, although he would be kind of in concern mode. The damage does look kind of heavy, but yeah, he took a fast repair there, so he's going to be down to 1, as we have about 5 to 6 drivers, mostly the guys that did not qualify, go to pit road this time by. But so yeah, his night is not over. But he's got 1 fast repair remaining, so he's got to be careful about when he wants to use, and that's something that we were mentioning earlier. Getting involved in a quick incident, having 1 fast repair. If you get damaged again, when do you want to repair that? If you want to repair that as soon as you get the chance to, or if you want to wait for a late caution, which could possibly never happen. But yeah, nobody is a lap down, so this will be a quickie caution here in iRacing. So I expect these guys to get back to racing pretty soon. But while we get a chance there, Dave, why don't we talk about you? Let's talk about what you did this off season while we were away. I know there was a couple official dirt races going on we didn't cover, but how was your off season?
It went well. I didn't get too much time to come back on the sim and try to practice over the off season, but the times that I did, it was somewhat enjoyable. I know that we also, me and I think it was me, Kyle Zimmer, Chris Auberge, Billy Wise, Alan Capers, and Kevin Paskowicz, I believe. I'm not 100% sure on that last one. Or no, sorry, it was Fernando Matos. Us six ran the 24-hour Daytona.
That's right.
We did get somewhat unlucky there throughout the race, and we didn't get a top 10 finish like we were hoping to get like last year. But we still did an awesome job. It was really fun, and I always enjoy running that race with these guys.
Well said, well said. The 24 hours is a fun event if you can actually complete that as a team and get that finish. I never got in the top 10 before. It's what you guys have, and that's something that's pretty cool. Unfortunately, wasn't able to get it this year, but yeah, as far as off season goes, pretty cool. I also mostly spent most of my time relaxing, getting myself, just taking care of some business going around, and it was fun. But we're glad to be back. Glad to be here covering SimPossible once again. This whole season has been fun, but of course, this is just a temporary thing here for you tonight, mostly because of how you feel about Auto Club. But looking forward to the next races. We got Phoenix next week. How are you looking for that one?
Yeah, I do enjoy the mile and a half track. It's going to be another 200-mile race like this one was tonight, and yeah, it definitely it's definitely going to be a little bit different. There's going to be a lot of heavy braking, and I don't know how this package handles Phoenix yet, so it's going to be a really fun one to watch next week.
Well said, well said. Well, pace car is getting ready to get off pit road, and these drivers are going to have their first restart of the night, hoping to get at least one lap in. As it looks like, I believe every single race this week has had an issue there before lap one finish. ASRS kind of struggled there very early on, but had a great finish throughout. Green flag's back on, and these guys are hammering it back on the green green flag on the gas pedal, side by side. The 2 leaders go side by side there for it's just side by side. No, I was right. This is the first time. It was the battle for first and battle for second, because this whole thing is a battle for first are going by. These first 4 cars are kind of separating themselves from, I believe that's Fernando Matos and Travis Zudema. Travis Zudema, I believe, is with a different paint scheme than usual tonight. Then again, these are the Cup cars, and this is like the first time you guys are running in here with the SimPossible Racing League. So I'm still haven't quite familiarized myself with the schemes that you guys are all running, but yeah, so far so good here as we're about to finish our first green flag lap of racing, as Eddie Hawks was just barely able to hold on to AJ Dickey, as he was able to leave that lap there. That being said, he's getting a good push there. He was getting a good push there with the 25 of Kyle Zimmer there. Dave, what are you seeing over there?
Yeah, I'm seeing most of the field starting to string out and go file, just kind of settle in for now. These top 3 or 4 though, these guys are really fighting hard right now. They're kind of wearing off their tires a little bit, but with these shorter runs, it's not gonna seem to matter quite as much. But there we go. There we see Kyle Zimmer on the inside, AJ Digby on the front stretch. I believe AJ might have a bit more of a run on the outside coming to the line. Kyle's definitely going to get the advantage coming into the turn number 3, but I believe AJ will most likely get the advantage coming out.
Yeah, well said. That outside line's very, very strong, specifically when all those guys were kind of on the outside drafting each other, and they were kind of leaving the inside car just to himself. It did not work out for them. But yeah, second place now is Kyle Zimmer, but AJ Dickey doesn't want to give that up quite yet. Getting to his inside once again. Getting the momentum. Tanner Sharp is going to be following the number 14. His 2 teammates going to be helping each other so far early on in this race, and Will Worcester's very happy watching this so far, as actually he's watching this from the crew chief, with he's going to be Tanner's crew chief for tonight as well as his spotter. So Will Worcester is not going to be spending too much time on the race chat, as neither will I, since I'm in the booth, but I'm sure he's going to be having a blast anyway, seeing these guys go around. But speaking of the chat, I'm going to give a shout out to everybody that's tuned in, cheering on, and commentating there in the chat. We got Charlie Oxner, Chris Roberge, What Works Their Racing, and Queen Nikki there. Hi, Nikki, how are you doing today? As well as Jennifer Henley saying go number 13. So Adam Capers does have a fan, and for Adam Capers fans, he is currently in a nice, comfortable ninth place, going 3 wide, as I said, comfortable there. He's going to get 1 spot, maybe 2 spots if he passes Fernando Matos. As the first part of the race is, at least the first couple of drivers, I don't know, we're seeing racing everywhere here in California, and with this cut package there, Dave, it's beginning to group everybody back up together. But why do you think these guys are going double file and racing each other for position so early?
This package is definitely more downforce heavy, and these cars just suck up to each other so fast that it just really keeps you close. If you start to lose that draft, then it really does end up hurting you in the long run. But whenever you get the chance, you definitely want to try to make gas and just see what you can do, because if there's a car in front of them, you might be able to get a draft off them and help you out, as you can kind of see here with Kyle Zimmer and Tanner Sharp in front of them. And yeah, it's just a really fun track. Awesome racing so far throughout the field, actually. And I believe we see Travis Zudema and Nate Catilla. Nate Catilla peeking the nose on the bottom. He might settle in here, but I'm not quite sure. Yeah, he does. And yeah, it's just this track in general is just brings out a lot of racing and a lot of 2-wide action in the corners, and it's all about the runs. And as we can kind of see up in the front right now, Tanner Sharp's closing the gap on Eddie Hawks right now. He has the draft, and he's gonna probably suck up here in the next 1 or 2 laps. He'll be on Eddie's bumper.
Yeah, so what we're seeing is that's starting to single up just a little bit. These guys are starting to, spread out just a little bit more, because something that also to mention during restart, the initial start of the race, those are prime opportunity to pass drivers and go, well, you drove last night and you drove on Monday. How hard is it to pass vehicles after they begin to start, after the tires begin to wear?
Yeah, it's definitely a bit harder. That middle line in the corners definitely becomes more dominant whenever the tires start to wear out a little bit. But yeah, I don't know how it's going to be tonight with the lower fuel mileage, but it's definitely going to be one to watch, and you'll probably want to save your tires a little bit more tonight, I think.
All right, well said. But taking a look at what's going on out there, I believe Johnny Berardi has had an issue there, because he. Either that or part of me, no, he's actually doing okay. It seems like ATVO had a little bit of a problem. They're showing him the race leader. I thought he took a tow. But Tanner Sharp has drove it deep down in the inside corner and has taken the lead over Eddie Hawks. We're going to go quickly take a quick replay of that to see just how he did that. Got himself a good draft, a good corner off, got to his inside quarter panel, drove it in there deep, and was able to get the race lead.
Yeah, and as you see up at the front, Kyle Zimmer's trying to make his push on the bottom right now, and he's trying to get up to the lead at the moment. He's on the bottom. He's nose to nose with Tanner at the moment. I believe, or sorry, yeah, Eddie Hawks. He's on the bottom right now, and it is a quite close fight right now. These top 5 cars, you can almost throw a blanket over them. That's how tight they are right now with this new aero package. And Kyle Zimmer's trying to join the fight now too. So we got a 3-way fight for first place. Kyle Zimmer, the teammate of Eddie Hawks, is pushing him on the bottom, trying to get him ahead of Tanner Sharp there. They're actually going 3 wide, it seems, almost. Nope, they're going 2 wide now. And yeah, I think Tanner Sharp's kind of almost out to dry on that outside at the moment. That inside does seem a bit more dominant, especially with the draft. But now Kyle Zimmer's on the bottom, and he's on the inside, and he might be able to get underneath Eddie. I don't know if he's going to try to do that or not, but even behind those two, we have the number 4 of Naked and the 14 of AJ Digby, and also I believe that's 90 of Travis Zudema, all fighting for position right now. Oh, AJ Digby just the wall coming into 4. Not too much. No major damage. He's still pushing on. The number 3 currently on the bumper of the number 25. He's pushing down the front stretch, and the Kyle Zimmer currently in the lead over Eddie Hawks. Eddie Hawks might be able to get a bit more of a run coming out of the corner, coming up here. Nate Catilla is still on the bottom of Travis Zudema. Those two are fighting really hard right now, and the damage on AJ Digby is definitely slowing him down a little bit. I believe he lost the draft with his front pack as well, so He's definitely hoping for a cautioner for whenever the pit stops by, so he can get that repaired. Yeah, as well. Right now, it's just these three front drivers, the 45, the 25, and the number 3, are all still fighting for position. Eddie Hawks still currently leads. Sorry, no, that Kyle Zimmer that's leading. Eddie Hawks in second. Tanner Sharp gonna try to dive it up on the inside here, coming at a turn 2. They're still fighting behind with Nate Catilla and Travis Zudema. Those two are battling really, really hard right now. Travis on the bottom, gonna try to pass Nate Catilla here. I don't know if he can manage it. Nate's really pinched him down there. Oh, they made a bit of contact. They're still going though, and I believe they made it through the corner. The number 90 still on the bottom of Nate Catilla, and the top 3 are still just moving all around, just trying to get around each other, but nothing's really working out right now for them all.
Yeah, thank you so much there, Dave. As it appears we got kicked out of iRacing there, at least I did. So thank you so much. You did a fantastic job of taking care of me and informing everybody during kind of a radio style broadcast. As we had to restart iRacing there, but we should be back now. Kyle Zemmer, of course, now having the race lead. Eddie Hawks and Tanner Sharp battling for that second place spots. But yeah, give it up to Dave Wilson here. First time broadcasting, and Dave, I gotta say, you're a natural, man. You are doing a fantastic job of informing everybody. I don't think we've ever had a first timer have to do a radio style broadcast by themselves without warning. I didn't even tell you what was going on. You just started getting to work like a champ, man. No wonder you are a championship contender. So, round of applause. You did a great job. As now we're taking a look at Kyle Zimmer doing a little bit of draft dodging. I don't really think that's going to work too much here in iRacing, but got himself a little fun. It's always fun to see them do that. You pretty much always see them doing that. And I think pretty much Indianapolis is maybe the only track they do it on exclusively. AJ, not AJ. Sorry,
AJ Digby, there's a guy wrecking in the back. AJ Digby spun it, hit the wall, coming out of turn 4, and I believe the 80 of Kevin Cochran got into him, and those two are around right now.
Yeah, let's go back and see just what happened there. Taking a look. Yeah, it looks like the 4 maybe checked up a little, and AJ Digby went to the outside to avoid him, and unfortunately though he ended up tagging the outside wall. Let's go back into a different angle and see if we can see something else there. I don't know if the 4 checked up or the 14 got a really good run. Yeah, the 4 checked up there to avoid the 90. Just a little. It wasn't even a lot. It was just a little, and the 14 decided to try to go on the outside to get that run on Nate. Pardon me, on Nate. Wasn't able to work there. That wasn't supposed to be a question there, Dave. My voice literally cracked, and it made it sound like a question.
No, it's AJ did an awesome job keeping it off that pit road wall there, though. Like, that was an unreal job by him. It's unfortunate that happened, but he will probably take a faster pair this pit stop, and hopefully get back out there and try to get back into that top 5 or top 3, or even maybe in the lead at some point here too. Yeah, everybody's coming down road, it seems. I think they're just around the end of their fuel run anyway, so they're coming down to get some fresh tires, full tank of fuel, and they're going to get back out there and do some more racing.
Yeah, well said. All these guys are going down pit road, getting all their stuff done. Hopefully none of these drivers make any mistakes in pit road. I'm not seeing anybody so far make one. As I'm sorry, I thought my voice would have lasted a lot longer. I guess I must have done something earlier in the day that must have killed my voice, because it is starting to fade away. But yeah, well, I guess 1 out of 3 broadcasts where my voice doesn't crack is, I guess, something that's I can work on, because Daytona was the last half of Daytona was something there, Dave. But it was fun. While we're still under caution, since these guys are getting out of pit road, why don't we go ahead and talk about you once again? So we got Phoenix coming up, and then after that, we're going to my favorite racetrack, Homestead Miami Speedway. How are you looking for that one?
Yeah, I mean, I just haven't really had the best of luck at Homestead in this series. I always run somewhat decently, and then near the end of it, I just kind of throw the race away and just do something by hitting the wall or letting somebody get around me right near the end and lose the championship. But I don't really take that to heart. It's this league is awesome to race in. It's not easy to win in this league either. So all these guys do a great job, and the people that do win, just shout out to them pretty well. Like Kyle Zimmer does an awesome job every week. One of my teammates, as well as Eddie Hawks this season. Last season we only saw him around the second half of the season, and near the end of it, he didn't really want to. He didn't really want to get involved in too much with the championship contenders, so he wasn't racing as hard as he possibly could have, and he's definitely showing that he can race really hard and really fast here this season so far, with one win in each series. And yeah, it seems like this season's going to be definitely really tight on points and just tight races all throughout with this new package.
Yep, it's where 1-2 green. Once again, so far, none of these drivers are a lap down. So everybody's on the lead lap. Quickie caution once again. It's always a blast to see these quickie cautions go by. And at big tracks like California, Daytona, Talladega, cautions can take such a long time that it's always nice to have one of these go by very quickly. Of course, other side of the conversation, we got short tracks, and for commentators, cautions go by very quickly. You can't play commercial. You can't really do much in there, especially if these guys have to go down pit road. But we're kind of okay with that because the cautions go by quickly. We go back to racing races and quicker. As a race car driver, though, Martinsville, those short tracks, even shorter tracks out there, you get some damage. Hey, you hate these short cautions. You wish they were longer, right?
Yeah, whenever you get that damage and you don't have any more faster pairs or don't have any faster pairs at all, it's definitely hard, and you just want to get a long caution to repair some of that damage, but unfortunately you can't really do that all the time. But it seems like we're about to go green right here. The pace cars are about to pull off, and there it goes. Eddie Hawks in first place, Tanner Sharp on his outside getting ready for the green. And they're really tight still, and the green flag is out. Tanner Sharp seems to get a better run right now than Eddie Hawks. Kyle Zimmer's going to push Eddie on the bottom to try to get him underneath Tanner for this restart. The 14 of AJ Digby, after being involved in that last wreck, is currently in 5th place, so awesome job from his pit crew that pit stop. And they're still side by side. Oh, there's contact. There goes the 13 into the wall, hard into the wall, and they're wrecking in the back hard.
Caution's back out there, unfortunately, there for the 13. We saw that happening right in front. I actually tried to see where the 13 was, because that's the one car of Thomas Wise also got himself some damage. There's the 13 of Adam Capers. Let's go back and see just what happened. Hit the outside wall, and that just stopped his car 100%. Thomas Weiss was involved. I'm not sure who that other driver was. I think that was Johnny Berardi, and yeah, that was Johnny Berardi getting himself some heavy front-end damage. Going on board with Johnny here. We're going to see the 13 just shoot all the way up. Not sure just what happened there. There's some miscommunications, or maybe the car turned too well, as he barely missed the 13 of Adam Capers, but Thomas Weiss was somebody he could not avoid. Let's go on board here with Thomas Weiss. Well, I would probably say maybe got the worst end of it. Taking a look, here he is. We're gonna see the 13 go up all against the wall, right there. Heavy damage, and then got hit again. Actually, got the car on 2 wheels. A little bit harder than that, it probably would have tipped him over. All right.
Yeah, so it was definitely a hard impact at the in turn 2. It almost seemed like the 13 kind of warped through Kyle Zimmer there on the bottom, and it just shot him right up the track, and then he hit the wall, came back down. The other drivers had nowhere to go, and just unfortunately got involved in that one.
Yeah, unfortunately for them, but yeah. So for 23 laps in, we are already in our second caution, and I'm not going to expect to see much of these guys going down Pear Road. Thomas Wise is in Pear Road. He actually may go a lap down. Adam Capers already exiting pit stop, so he should be good. Actually, Thomas Wise, he took a fast repair, so he should be getting out now, and there he goes. So none of these guys will be going a lap down, but that's one less fast repair for Adam Capers, Thomas Wise, and something's up with Johnny Berardi, because he is going very slow on the racetrack. 24 miles an hour, it's like as if he's out of fuel or something going on board. Oh, that's what it is. His engine is off, and I think he's coasting to maybe pit road. And if he doesn't make that, he'll probably have to take a tow. Is 20 miles an hour here coasting. I don't think you're gonna make it to your stall.
Yeah, it's not like there is a chance that if somebody wants to risk their position near the back and wants to try to push him down that he could make it, but I don't think he's going to try to. He's going to be able to make it on his own. He might with the weaving motion. I'm not quite sure. I haven't really done this before, so he might make it, but he's definitely going to be really slow, and he can't slide through that pit box, or else he might take a tow, and it might take him another 2 or so minutes to get back out on track.
Yeah, it's a real shame there for Johnny Berardi. I never heard of the weaving motion thing. It appears to be working though, because he was 13 miles an hour and he went 14 and back to 13. So it's kind of like the one step forward, two steps back, as opposed to just straight up losing. He's trying to save some momentum there. Stuck at 9 miles an hour now, 8. He's for sure gonna go a lap down. Maybe at this, yeah, he's going a lap down for sure. These are the leaders back there. He's stopping. He's taking a tow, so it'll be faster for sure than where he would have if he stopped. But going a lap down, and I think he'll only be 1 lap down there. I think if we have a quick caution, he'll find himself back on a lead lap. But for the time being, he is stuck 1 lap down. But yeah, that was heavy damage for the 99 of Johnny Berardi, and I guess it's no surprise that the engine blew there. 1 to go here, Tanner Sharp at the current lead. Eddie Hawks, Travis Zunema, AJ Digby, Nate Catilla, and Dave, why don't we go ahead and get your picks? You've already seen 25 laps of racing here. Who do you think has a good chance of winning? My pick here tonight was Eddie Hawks.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to tell. I almost might choose Travis Zunema for this race. Kind of a bit of an underdog. He hasn't raced too much last year in this series in SimPossible, but he did the dirt series in the off season, and he was very fast in there, and I believe he even won the championship. So, and he's running top 4 right now, and he's been fast all race. So I'm gonna be looking forward to seeing him in the at least top 3 and try to interview him at the end of this race here tonight.
Yeah, that'll be fun for sure, especially some of these guys getting interviewed by competitors. So we usually find you all the way at the front. In this case, we're finding you in one of the best seats in the house here in the broadcast booth. So glad you can join us once again, and you're just knocking it out of the park today. So if you ever want to come to any of our races, just let us know, man. We'd love to have you. But yeah, pace car's gonna get ready to pull down pit road, restarting on lap number 26. Tanner Sharp's going to be leading the field there to the start-finish line. Pace car's off. Green flag is going to be coming on. And green flag is out as these drivers are going to be crossing the start-finish line at full blast. Getting ready to shift, and hopefully none of these guys make a mistake. We saw that happen last night. Unfortunate money shift error, but everybody's making it nice and clean so far. AJ Digby pushing Tanner Sharp, his teammate, to the race lead and clearing himself so far in second place as Eddie Hawks wants to get second place out of these drivers. One driver, that's the 32 Billy Weiss, going all the way below the apron. He's going to be okay as the 45 Eddie Hawks has nowhere to go. Lecce looking down inside now, going side by side here for second place.
Yeah, it's awesome racing up here at the front, wide, 3 rows back after Tanner Sharp in the lead, pulling away, and the 9 car in the wall, he's spinning into the inside. I don't believe that will bring out a caution. Unfortunately, it was only the 1 car involved. He's going to make it down pit road and get that damage repaired and hopefully be back out. They're almost 3 wide for the lead with the number 4 and the number 45 and the 90 right now. Let's just see what happened with this 9. Yeah, he just pushed a little bit too hard, got in the wall, and he couldn't really do anything after that. Hard impact on the inside wall as well. Luckily, he didn't get any pit road violations, and he's going to make his way back up.
Yeah, well, pardon me there. My voice started high and then cracked even further, but now SimPossible officials, which the official is Jeff Schmidt. He is known to manually bring out a caution for something like this, but usually when a couple more drivers are involved. This one being Tim Masters only by himself, gonna kind of pretty much take a fast repair, and he no longer has any fast repair. He's gonna spend the rest 3/4 of this race, hopefully with a clean vehicle to finish it out. But it'll be a nice test for him to see if he can finish out the rest of this race without getting damaged. But yeah, no caution for this scenario. But there's actually something I did want to mention from last night. It seemed like last night, the first green flag lap you guys did, which was on the first restart, and I don't think you guys even got to finish that. Half the field messed up turn number 4 and smacked the outside wall. I don't know if you did that too, but do you have any clues to why those guys just pretty much were like monkey see, monkey doing up into the outside wall?
Yeah, it was just a combination of the cold tires and the cold track last night, and then being on the bottom, it just pushed up really bad. I almost got on the ball, I was able to keep it off, luckily, but yeah, the car is definitely really tight on the bottom on cold tires, and especially with a cold track. It was really cloudy yesterday, so hopefully the cloudiness doesn't really bother these guys too much, and it seems like the sun's out shining tonight, or yeah, tonight, so. It's gonna be a warm race with this for the next hour or so, hopefully, and these guys as Tanner Sharp right now getting closed in by AJ Digby because of this draft. Nate Canilla, Will Warsa racing in the top 3 right now with Eddie Hawks in 4th place and Travis Zunema in 5th.
Wow.
All these 5 drivers are just pushing so hard right now. Too wide. AJ Digby gonna try to overtake his teammate Nate Canilla. Travis Zunema peeking on the inside of Eddie Hawks. I don't know if he's going to make the move, but here comes the 88 of Travis Efa just pushing on the outside right now, and he might even make a move to try to pass the 90. He kind of held off a little bit. The 90 started to slide up, and these guys are just going to settle in single file as Nate Attila brings it to the bottom for 2nd place, trying to get that 2nd place position behind Tanner Sharp. AJ Digby with the run on the outside behind Tanner with the draft. Nate Catilla still on the bottom, just sent it into the corner, and he's just going to try to make that stick, and he does. Awesome move by Nate, and now AJ Digby trying to do the undercut.
Yeah, I noticed that you and Peter love saying the word undercut. To me, it was called the crossover. I don't know why you guys say that as opposed to the way I say it. I don't know if maybe I'm out of the norm and you guys are saying what's correct. Because usually, to me, it was just called crossover. Oh, the Ford just taps the outside wall just a little.
Oh, then yeah, it's still 8 there on the outside. They're almost 3 wide, but no, James thinks smart of it and goes back in line. Still 2 wide though. Nate on the outside. Eddie Hawks getting pinched bottom right now. He's not gonna have the run out of the corner because Nate pinched him so hard. But if he sneaks back up and gets that draft, he might be able to try to make a move here coming into 3. I also see that Kevin Cochran and Travis Zudema back, and I believe that 6th and 7th position are starting to get a little racy as the 80 kind of falls off a little bit for this corner. And it seems like Eddie had to check up too, and here comes James on the outside of Eddie with Travis Zudema diving to the bottom. They're going to go 3 wide through the oval. It's just an awesome sight to see with some 3 wide racing. That none of them are backing out, so it's going to be... Oh, there goes... Travis Zunema sticking it to the bottom right now. James Ifa not giving him any room either. Eddie Hawks staying close there too. These drivers are racing really, really hard right now for a hopefully long run that we see. And yeah, it's just some crazy fights back there in the pack. They're 2x2, three rows deep there, starting with the 88 of James Ifa and Fernando Matos, sorry, all the way in the back of that main pack. We can kind of see the 13 Alan Capers trying to stay in that draft. And yeah, these drivers are just doing an awesome job right now, and it's definitely really fun to commentate and watch these guys race right now.
Yeah, and it's fun to have you here in the booth tonight as we are just having a blast watching all these fun camera angles, watching all these guys just have fun racing out there. Now, for the people that are not familiar with SimPossible and this racing league, SimPossible Racing League was actually, you know what, Dave, why don't you go ahead and talk to the viewers what SimPossible is and when we see it.
Yeah, this league it's a culmination of all different disabilities. We have drivers with all different sorts, and they put on a show every single week, actually twice a week, almost roughly every week. And these guys just do an awesome job racing, and I enjoy racing in it myself. My disability is I have a really weak left side to the point where I can only race with one hand, and luckily my left leg is strong enough to be able to use the brake. However, I cannot use my left hand whatsoever. So I do drive with my wheel. I use the paddle shifter and a button to downshift. It's an awesome experience racing on iRacing. It's an awesome sim, and with Jeff Schmidt making this league, it's been an awesome journey over these past 2 years, and I'm looking forward to the future.
Yeah, it's a very, very. It's an awesome thing that Jeff has created, and not only the Jeff was created, because creating thing is one thing, but finding drivers that are committed to race week in and week out, and if not race week in and week out, show up and be a part of the league somehow. So it's just been a blast to see how far this league has grown since I came here and broadcasted, I believe, the first or second race of the season. So it's just been a blast, and I just can't wait to see how even bigger this league can become.
Yeah, there's definitely a lot of growth to come in the future, and I'm just hoping that this league grows and just keeps on growing for the multiple years this is going to be alive. As long as iRacing is alive, this league will be here, and it's definitely some fun racing every week. And we even got, I believe, is that the 25 racing, the 45 right now, back in 6th place. Those two fell back quite a bit from the lead pack right now. And Nate Catilla making the moves. He was back in, I believe it was around 6th place. Now he's back up to 3rd. Wayne Lowe doing an awesome job taking him through this field tonight. And yeah, James Afaw not giving it up though. He's trying to stay in that draft to get back at Nate. And AJ Digby closing in on Tanner Sharp. I believe those two Will Worcester racing cars are just going to try to ride it out for now and try to hope that the this run goes green all the way and try to get a good pit strategy to try to pull away from these guys after they do the pits.
Yeah, pretty interesting. It's actually, thank you for reminding me, because I actually do have notes from Tanner Sharp. Excuse me there as I had a pickle. From Tanner Sharp about the fuel strategy, as the 14 is there, AJ Digby is there, getting ready to possibly pass through the lead. These guys are teammates, but they are not going to be taking it easy there in the corner. Well, Worcester Racing's probably happy, maybe a little bit nervous, kind of hoping these guys maybe don't wreck each other. But according to Tanner Sharp, the fuel window will be about 23 to 25 laps. And guess what, Dave? We are currently 19 laps since the last pit stop. Of course, that includes about 2 or so laps under yellow, so maybe add one more lap, or subtract 1 lap, maybe I review it. But we're getting ready to go through pit stops, and that's something that has been a game changer, a race changer for some of these guys, and not just in this league, but in other leagues, including ASRS and the Northwest Tour that we broadcast when they do pit on those very few races. But if you mess up, or if you're not on your A game, you're going to lose spots and lose a chance at winning the race. We're 10 laps from halfway. This race is going by very quickly. As something to note about when I first started racing in iRacing, I did like some practice going down pit road, just making sure I don't mess it up. When can I slow down? I'm very conservative on braking this. That's just who I don't like pushing it too hard. And that would work for me. I would be one of the fastest guys on pit road. It's gotten to the point now where you legit have to practice pit roads, including in this league and in other leagues as well, because everybody is getting into pit strategy, and all these guys are starting to learn more about that. And if you don't nail the entrance to pit lane, if you don't nail the entrance to your pit stop, you're gonna lose spots.
Yeah, for sure. I know whenever I do a track, roughly around the last 10 minutes or so of practice,
yes,
I either
exactly.
do qualifying practice, or what I'll do as well is just practice coming in off of a long green flag run. And it's all about seeing how far you can push to lose the least amount of time. And it's like on this track, it's quite hard because these guys are going almost 180 miles an hour, 170 to 180 miles an hour coming out of turn 4, coming to the pit road. So you do gotta let off at least in turn 4 and then start breaking into the pits. It all depends on how much braking you're willing to put in and how much you're willing to push the car, and see if you cannot speed in the pit road like I did a couple races ago.
And how did that work out for you?
Not too well.
Yeah. Mondays it's different. Mondays the fuel percentage is shorter compared to now, but the races are also shorter. You cannot mess up. If you were to mess up, it would have to be in the very first couple laps, just because of how short these races are as compared to the standard league length races. But I want to say this is actually the same length that ASRS ran last night. However, with a shorter fuel percentage. And remember, this is a shorter fuel percentage. It's not a shorter or a quicker tire wear. So Some of these guys have experimented with two-tire stops in AJ. Pardon me, I don't know why I keep on calling you AJ. I'm sorry, Dave, but Dave, two-tire stops, man. With this new tire model and the short fuel lengths, is it something to consider, or is it still a no-go?
Right now with long runs, unless you're anticipating near the end of the race, maybe with like around 10 to go and you're gonna put in, then maybe take 2. But early on in this race, you just want to keep trying to take 4 because you will lose like a decent amount of time over the long run. You might be able to gain it, but you will lose it eventually, and it's not fun whenever that happens. And with this fuel percentage being 50% tonight, you definitely don't want to be taking 2 at least early on. Like I said, if you take it around 10 or so to go, it'll be fine. But yeah, early on it's gonna be really risky, and I can't see too many drivers doing that this race. But this second group of cars of 4, consisting of James Afaw, Nate Attila, Alan Cabers, and Kyle Zimmer are just gaining on the leaders right now. The leaders were around a second or 2 more further ahead than this pack, and they just been gaining each and every lap, just trying to work together. They are fighting a little bit more because I believe it's getting a bit closer to the fuel pit window, so they're all just trying to get ahead of each other, just try to get around, see what they can do. And yeah, it's gonna be really interesting these next couple laps whenever they start to come down and take some tires and fuel.
Yeah, it'll be interesting for sure. As there we go, Tanner Sharp going down pit road. James Afa made a last-minute effort to go down pit road and almost wrecked the 13. What a great job for the 13. Locked it up, but got it there. Great job saving it. I think we saw one of these guys actually miss pit road. Not quite sure who that was. Actually, no, everybody went down pit road. It appears. Actually, no. Brian Lowe had actually missed pit road entrance, so that's going to cost him big time. But majority over 2. I don't know what I'm trying to say. Less than a half, but more than a quarter of the drivers went down pit road. Hey, have I ever mentioned I failed math a couple times in college?
No, you haven't, but
No?
I'm to show you tonight. But
Yeah.
I'm just kidding, though. But it's yeah, we see AJ Digby and Nate Attila coming down pit road
What
this
a
time
stop
by
on 13.
Kyle Zimmer is staying out right now. He must have been able to save a bit more fuel running in the back, being able to lift a little bit more on the corners, getting a run on the straights, and it's showing right now as he's staying out one last lap, maybe even just to try to lead a lap today, as I don't think he has yet, and just trying to get that bonus point, because later on in the season, these bonus points are definitely going to be a huge difference. So he's definitely going to be coming down this time by, though. I do believe the first group of cars that pit will be coming past him as well. So it's kind of a risk you want to have to take if you want to try to stay out and save some fuel, or do you want to or save some tires, or he's maybe did he earlier? Maybe I have no idea, but I don't think he did. So
he's gone down pit road. Here's the thing: he's gone down pit road twice already. The majority of the guys, I think he came down pit road the last caution, because he's also being shown 24 laps since his last pit stop, and and that would probably, he went down pit road the last caution, so he's able to stay out a couple of laps. But do expect to see him within the next lap or 2, or maybe even this lap. As I'm just a bad liar. However, I'm not quite sure I agree with this strategy, but Dave, you're the one that's racing with these guys week in and week out. I just think with the strategy he's doing, the already normal time you would lose just staying out if it's a couple laps, compared to the guys who do come in earlier, as well as how much of an air these cars punch, and drafting. Even though it's not the same degree in Daytona and Talladega, drafting can still cause you to run faster lap times, even if you are slower than the fastest car running by himself. So I'm not quite sure I agree with the strategy, but Kyle Zimmer has won multiple races here in this league, and I haven't. Actually, I've won 2 races here in this league, but those were unofficial races that were done during the off time. But that doesn't matter. I'm not sure I agree with this strategy, Dave. What do you think?
Oh yeah, so he just passed by the lead pack there, so he's gonna almost have to pray for a caution, or maybe he's just trying to do a different strategy than these guys, to try to make it so that he can maybe take 2 at the very end of the race, which is very possible on the strategy he's doing right now. But We see AJ Digby and Tanner Sharp work together right now, just trying to pull away from the pack, just try to stay in each other's draft, get faster lap times, make sure that they can keep the lead and stay away from everybody else. Because once those other guys group up and try to catch up, they're going to be goners most likely.
Yeah, and something to note as well. We had before pit stops happened. We had 2 drivers up pretty much in the lead pack by second, and then right before pit road started, we had 4 other guys catch back up to them. So it was a group of 6 vehicles. Now it's just AJ Digby and Tanner Sharp by themselves, and then a second and a third back is Alan Capers, and he's running by himself. And then 2 seconds behind him is Eddie Hawks, also running by himself. And then a second behind him is Fernando Matos, and he does have some help with Kyle Zimmer and soon to be James Faw. So this kind of like speaks to what we were talking about regarding nailing your pit stops. And I didn't see any of these guys make a mistake, except of course for Brian Lowhead, unfortunately, who is still in the lead lap, but he is 22 seconds back of the race leaders. He's hoping he can get a caution, but yeah, big separation. Everybody was grouped up, and this is kind of what green flag pitting does to you guys, and how hard these guys need to work on green flag pitting now compared to how it was when I first started. So, something to note: all these guys are separated except for AJ Digby and Tanner Sharp, and they are slowly pulling away from Adam Capers. Of course, it's a little hard to see who's got the actual speed. Tanner Sharp, one of the fastest guys. Same thing with AJ Digby. Alan Capers, you're not usually going to find him running this close up front, but he is doing a phenomenal job. Actually, this whole season he's been doing a great job. So it's nice to see all these guys improve. But without the draft, without a group of vehicles, it's going to be hard. Maybe the best thing to do would be, these guys are too far separated to even consider dropping back and getting a draft from all these people. As James Zavala, they're blinking in, and that's I don't know. We've 5 laps, 6 laps into this run. Would you consider dropping back and kind of like doing a Daytona style dropping back so the other guys can get a draft off you?
It almost seems like that's what Alan Cooper is doing right now. Is Eddie Hawks is closing in quite significantly, unless that was just Eddie running really great times and Alan may have made a mistake. But these two might have communicated and tried to get together so that they could try to catch up to this lead pack. As Kyle Zimmer with that fresh tire, he's all by himself now too, just because of how much quicker he's on those new tires, and he's definitely making a push right now.
Let me stop you right there. The last lap, Eddie Hawks is actually going by the 13 of Van Capers. He was the fastest guy in the track. He was the only person that ran a 40-second lap. It was a 40.8. This time by, he's actually 2 laps in a row running the fastest lap of the current field right now. Ran a 40.83. The leaders ran a 41.2. So whatever Eddie is doing, it's working, because not only has he got the draft out on Capers, he's also just blown by him in less than a lap. He passed him exiting turn number 4 of the previous lap. We're about to reach 1 lap since he passed Alan Capers. Eddie Hawks is on a roll right now. Whatever he's doing, it is working for him.
Yeah, it seems like he's definitely pushing a lot more than I believe the top 2 are right now, as he's just gaining. You can take this track full throttle for quite a few laps. It does wear the tires somewhat fast, but if you get that speed and are able to catch up back to that draft, then you're pretty well set until the pit stops come by again. But yeah, he's definitely pushing really hard right now, and there's contact in the back. The 13's around on the back stretch. The 25 is involved as well. It's a big mess right now in the back.
And I was actually going to say the 25 actually started to run the fastest lap of all the drivers. He was the only driver in the 40s there, as that last lap Eddie Hawk dipped into the 41. Still faster than the race leaders, but unfortunately, whether it was miscommunications or maybe some netcode there, the 13 and the 25 made some contact, and these guys brought up the caution. Let's go on the blimp camera there. A little bit of netcode. It's also possible maybe the 13 of Van Capers did not know that Kyle Zimmer was there. Was that James Zavala that just kind of cut it there through the middle?
Yeah, he just Mosesed his way through that wrecker, and it was definitely a really tight one. But He somehow managed to do it, and it's just such skill on that driver, and he's been doing really good this season as well. He came in late last year, and he's been showing that he can run really fast in some really good races, as well as even with that awesome driving, avoiding that wreck. And it almost kind of seemed in that wreck that the 13 almost pushed off the corner a little bit more than he might have thought he was, and the 25 didn't anticipate the amount of push that was happening, and he tried to go to the outside for a pass and just couldn't make it happen. They got together, unfortunately, and I believe most of the cars will be coming down pit road this time to get fuels and tires and just be all even again on strategy, and it's going to be interesting to see what happens now in this run.
Yeah, that's seems like what is going to be happening out there. Everybody I see going down pit road, Tim Masters is looks like he has elected to. Oh, excuse me. Sorry, he has gotten the free pass, so that's why he's been going around all these drivers. But these guys are going across their pit stops, taking care of their business. Hopefully, so from what I'm seeing, none of these guys are making any mistakes. And whoa, is that a 2-tire stop there from who is that? I think that was Nate Catilla. 6 seconds there on his stall, taking I don't know, 6 seconds. Is that 2 tires or would that just be fuel only?
It could have been fuel only, but I believe it. I don't know. I mean, that might have been 2 tires as well. It's really hard to tell. I mean, with this current fuel percentage, you really benefit more taking at least 2 than you would not taking anything at all. But yeah, it's going to be interesting here on this run to see how that makes out, how that it's out for him.
Well, why don't we go ahead and see if we can have a quick chat with Nate Catilla there. Dave, let's go on to his where is it? His Wayne's World, the channel there, and talk to Nate and Wayne there. And Dave, I'll let you give him a quick interview, see why he chose 2 tires and how his car's been handling, because he's been pretty fast. So we're gonna head there right now.
Well, yeah, no big deal.
Hi Nate and Wayne, how are you guys doing? It's David up here in the 3Wide TV booth tonight. How are you guys going on this run? It seems like you guys took 2 tires in that pit stop. Did you do that?
0.
Yep.
So you guys took fuel only. Interesting strategy.
Yeah, there's only 7 laps on them. I mean, track position I think might be worth enough to make it work. So we'll see.
It definitely has. You guys have been really fast tonight. How has that car been treating you tonight?
He's did really good. I mean, he's just been running a nice, consistent race and just trying to make the best of what we got.
Good to hear, man. I wish you guys luck throughout this race, and hope that strategy works out for you guys, and hope to see you back here at the end of the race.
Yeah, thanks, Dave.
Hey. All right, good luck out there tonight, guys.
Thanks, see ya.
Yep. All right, there's Dave back again here. So we heard it right there. 0 tires, as I guess I called it there. So interesting to see. It is seven laps on their old tires. It was green flag conditions, but something to note. 2 things to note. One, which is something we already mentioned. The fuel is cut in half, not the tire wear, or increased in half for the tire wear. And 2, they were pretty much running single by themselves, maybe a little bit of a draft help, so they weren't running as fast laps as they would have been running those first couple laps. So honestly, it's a little close to being a late attempt to do this, but for the laps we have left, this may honestly be a good honest try.
Yeah, it's definitely a bold strategy, and I applaud Wayne for attempting this run, and I really do hope it works out for them. They've been fast all race. They've been up there in the top 3, actually second place even as their highest position. So they do have this from their teammates, AJ Digby and Tanner Sharp. So we'll see if those 2 try to help out Nate throughout this run and try to keep him up there in the lead, or if they just want to try to keep him in the draft even. But it's definitely gonna be a really cool run to see, and we got, I believe that's Eddie Hawks in 4th place, and then in 5th place we have Fernando Matos.
Yeah, part of me is trying to figure out some of these graphical issues. I think I may know what's going on there. But oh yeah, speaking of graphical issues, I appear to have fixed or disabled the graphical pop-in that we were experiencing last night. So if you liked PS1 graphics on your race cars from a distance, I'm sorry to say, but this is not the broadcasting channel for you, and you may have to go somewhere else. But if you like good-looking graphics on the race cars, maybe not the pace cars. The pace car is very, very old and it's kind of outdated, but then this is the broadcasting channel for you. And hello, everybody on the chat. See Jennifer Henley once again chatting once again, and Slimy Drip 90 Corey, how are you doing today? Hope you're having a great time. As we got some practice to do tomorrow for the Racing League. As pace car is going to get ready to pull off pit road, as I should have turned off that ticker there the last lap. And Dave, it's going to be a fun race for sure. Pace car is off. We're going to see if that zero tire strategy by Nick Attila is going to work out. Green flag's back out, and these guys are back on the gas pedal, going it, mashing it on the ground, and in a cartoon-style fashion, going it through the bottom of the floor and into the concrete. Asphalt, pardon me. Side by side here, 4 turns 1. Tanner Sharp wasn't right in the bumper there before, but is now there pushing him a little, getting that good run on the inside, but that outside line may have the good momentum. Thinking about going 3 wide there for 3 wide TV here.
Yes, and Tanner Sharp's on the bottom. He settled into second place with Eddie Hawks on his outside. The 14 AJ Digby still fighting his teammate Nate Catilla. And Nate Catilla actually did get ahead and starting to pull in front. So this strategy so far has been working great for them. Eddie Hawks almost on the wall at 80 as well. And they're all bundled up there in the back. They're 3 wide. They're all going single file. Now they're still 3 wide though. They're in the back. I think that's the 90 of Travis Zudem, the 25 of Kyle Zimmer, and the 32 of Billy Wise. All 3 wide in the back. And they're still 3 wide going into turn 2, or going into turn 1, pardon me, but now they all settled back out into single file racing throughout the pack. There are a few pockets of side-by-side racing, but back up here in the front, we still have Nate Attila just extending that lead that he has, and it's awesome to see that on 0 tires compared to the 4 fresh tires that are just haunting him in the back right now. So it's definitely a really close race. It's been awesome up here at the front of these drivers just battling really, really hard throughout. And the 4 is still in the lead coming into lap 62. We have roughly 38 laps left this race. So it's going to be really interesting to see how that strategy pays out near the end with the tire wear. But
I have something I want to say.
Yeah, it's starting to spread it a little bit.
Sorry to cut you off there. But
ahead.
I failed math. Excuse me. 39 laps to go in this race because the ticker says it right there. But yeah, anyway, I'm sorry. I did want to mention though, with Nick Attila being in the lead at the current moment, AJ Digby trying his best to take that away. But Nate Attila, speaking of how big this league has got, he's one of the few drivers out here that actually has a real life sponsor, and that's Legendary Wolf Games, who they do a couple of 5M servers in GTA and GTA Online, and they have agreed to sponsor his race car here for this whole 2020 season. Of course, now that I mention it, he's starting to lose a couple spots, but Legendary Wolf Games, which has also been broadcasting our races on the theater in GTA Online on their servers. We hope you enjoyed seeing the number 4 Nick Attila out on the lead, and I'll say that strategy kind of worked there, because he was, he's probably going to be around the same place, but he led some laps, and Dave, I think Nick Attila has a car to beat.
He does indeed, but those 2 front drivers, the 14 and the 3, they are his teammates and they are fast right now on those fresh tires. Nate Attila still keeping up, which is awesome to see. And the 45 got a little bit loose there in the corner. He's still trying to save it. I think he got the hold of it now, but they're all still going strong. The front 3 are starting to pull away now. The 13 of Alan Caber is trying to catch back up. And I believe that's the 33 of Doug McCullum right behind him, and the 17 of Fernando Matos round up your top 6, actually, instead of top 5. But these drivers are just racing really, really hard this entire race, and it's awesome to see that. But the it's the apron on this track, actually, you do lose a few RPMs whenever you pull down to that bottom, so it can be beneficial at times, but I don't know. I mean, I found last night that it wasn't really doing me too much good.
Something to mention, I believe Peter mentioned this last night, and for those wondering where Peter is traveling for work. He's working in location at the moment, so well, he's not working, but he's traveling at the moment. So we wish him good luck, and we hope he has a safe method of travel. But Peter mentioned that that apron. With the sponsorship that the racetrack is doing, it's painted, so you lose some grip there when you drive down. Yeah, you lose grip there, but also at the same time it's very bumpy, and I never noticed that. At the same time, I guess I'm not a championship contending driver like Peter is or you are, but that's something I never noticed. But it's actually, now that I think about it, it's bumpy down there, and that could be a reason why you lose that RPM. But hey, guess what, Dave? The sun is out. It's probably being hidden by some clouds, and that's probably going to affect the weather. Maybe not right away, but I think the track temperature may have gone down since we started this race. It's currently 65 degrees air temperature and a track temperature of 78 degrees. But yeah, that sun is out right now behind the clouds. And Dave, how is this going to change the racing?
It's definitely going to make it a lot down the bottom, and you just kind of want to settle in behind the car, try to get a good run coming out of the corner, because if you get a good run, then you'll be able to have a really good entry into the next. So these kind of tracks, momentum tracks, are not my specialty whatsoever. They're one of my weakest race types actually, but it's yeah, it's a tough track, and these guys are doing an awesome job tackling it, and it's brought us some good racing, but I believe these track temps might be able to close in the field a bit more, as they might be able to push a little bit harder than they could before, and it's definitely making times go up a tad, especially with this draft. These drivers are all running really low 41-second laps, and that there's a second group now of 4 cars starting to form up there on the behind Nate Gatilla. So those drivers may try to race each other, and they may try to all just gather up, go single file, and just try to catch this lead pack.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see with 33 laps to go, halfway there on that lap. But interesting to see. We saw a lap or two, or not a lap or two. That's usually when it ended. But let's say 10 or so laps before our first attempt at a green flag pit stops happened. Those guys in the second pack were catching up to the 2 race leaders, AJ Green and Travis Sharp, and to the point where a lap or two before pit stops, they were pretty much there. They weren't able to pass them, but they were there in a group of 6 vehicles, and once again, we have 6 vehicles, and they appear to be catching up. Another driver I do want to quickly note is that number 13 of Alan Capers. He does have a couple fans out there, and he is running a strong race out here tonight. Of course, 32 laps to go. It's still early, but it looks like he's going to be cruising for. No, that's the wrong term. It looks like he's going to be having a great race tonight.
Yeah, he's an awesome paint scheme too. I love that purple and green paint scheme. Sorry, there we go. I know I ran a purple paint scheme for roughly around half a season to a season in the B car, and it did me good, but it seems to be doing him good tonight as well, as he's going for 3rd place underneath Nate Gatilla. He does have fresher tires, so he should you'd think would have the advantage. However, Nate Gatilla is a strong contender right now, but Alan Capers with that entry just is gonna most likely pull away from Nate right now. And now we have Kyle Zimmer on the inside of Nate Gatilla, and Doug McCullum is behind Nate, making it 3 wide on the outside. As we have some 3 wide action again. And Fernando Matos is just watching this in awe, I would imagine. And the 4 is in the middle still. Doug McCollum going really high, giving lots of room. All drivers giving somewhat room. The Kyle Zimmer is actually going to be at a disadvantage here, having to hold that inside line so tight out of the corner. However, he is going to settle in right behind Nate Gatilla, maybe try to help him out, try to get him back around Doug McCollum, but that's another driver that we haven't really talked about too much tonight, or haven't seen too much, is Doug McCollum. He's always fast, and he's a really good driver. He just always ends up getting really unfortunate luck near the end of the race, but he is one awesome driver to race with, a really good guy too, and he's proven that he can race tonight.
I apologize, I have to take a picture there so I can study while we're having through some of these issues. And for For those keen-eye viewers out there who may have noticed that, yes, we do, as a matter of fact, have an FPS counter displayed on the broadcast, and we are testing a couple issues, trying to fix or trying to figure out what's causing some of our system issues there. So you'll be noticing that on our broadcast maybe for the next couple of weeks. So we do apologize for that, but that's very needed to see. Unfortunately, iRacing doesn't have another form of measuring FPS. Or at least not that I know of, but once we figure out these issues, which as a matter of fact I think I may have figured out what's causing some of that stuttering issues, we'll be looking to fix it or replace whatever's causing that. But that being said, 16 laps here in this race, and pardon me, that's an incorrect statement there, Dave. 16 laps into this stint since the last driver, since the last time these guys have gone down pit road. We're about 10 or so laps away from green flag pit stops and 28 laps to go. Do you want to wait, Dave? Do you want to wait till you are just about to run out of fuel, or do you want to like pit a little bit early?
It does depend. I mean, if it was a bit to the end, I think with around 10 to go, some people might want to pit a little bit earlier than others, just try to get that advantage while they can. But the tire advantage will definitely be one thing. Is if you pit later, you will have fresher tires. However, it will be hard to catch up to that person that's running faster laps. So it kind of goes hand in hand what you want to do. If everybody else is taking 4 tires and you take 2, you'll still be out right around where they are. So I don't know. It's 2 tires make no effect, but it looks like the 17 got loose from Nate Gatilla, and an awesome save by him indeed. And now Fernando Mato's going to fall back a bit more, and they're just bumping around over there. But it's some interesting racing coming to the end of it.
Yeah, the 17 made some slight contact with the 4. I think the 4 Nate Gatilla just got a little bit tight. Fernando Matos did a fantastic job. That's Eddie Hawks coming back out from pit road. So he actually went down pit road, currently 1 lap down. So pit stop cycles have begun. But 17 Fernando Matos got loose, saved the vehicle, and Tim Masters was looking to pass him on the outside, then went low, and Fernando Matos kind of blocked him. So Tim had to pretty much like turn it down even lower and back off the corner because he was about to run into the driver, and of course that led to him being passed by Billy Wise. And so executed perfectly. That block did from Fernando Matos, but a little too close there for my comfort. As James DeFall went a little bit wide, kind of shoved him wide as well. Nobody else has I'm seeing going down pit road, and I don't know. I'm kind of liking this move by Eddie Hawks. He's there with the other guys. He's got the draft. If these guys kind of go separately, they might be getting back on track single file. But Eddie Hawks may just win this race with that early pit stop. Actually, wait a second. 25 laps to go, and I was told 23 to 25 laps of fuel. He's run 2 laps. It'll be close.
It will be really close indeed, but I don't know. I mean, that strategy could very well work for him. It may not, and it all really depends on if a caution comes out late this race. It's there is a good chance that it might, with these guys being really racing near the end. However, they've done a great job so far with all the hard racing they've done. So I believe this can go green to the end, and Eddie Hawks may be at a slight disadvantage. I don't know. Maybe he can try to conserve a bit of fuel on this run, unless he's just trying to push and do a quick little 2-tire stop near the end, which may benefit him. I have no idea. But we have another car coming down pit road.
Yep, that's the 90 of Johnny Berardi. He was multiple laps down, so he might just be getting some tires and fuel for one last time, trying to finish this race. So far, getting the provisional Mama A Race No Quitter Award, 6 laps down. But very close battle here for the race lead, as Tanner Sharp has pretty much been bumping the 14's rear bumper in the backstretch those last couple laps. These guys are teammates for Will Wursler Racing, so they know how to have fun. I think Tanner Sharp's pretty much content with where he is as Dave, as a race car driver, and of course I'm not a championship contender, but I've had a couple opportunities to actually be faster than the guy in front of me, than the race leader, and I would usually like to just hang in behind them, knowing that I have a faster vehicle, so I would just hang behind them like Tanner is, match their speed, because to me, I find it easier for me to follow the race leader and see what they're doing than it is for me to pass them and become the race leader. I feel like you have a certain advantage, some sort of thing going on there. I don't know if you feel the same way.
Yeah, definitely. Whenever you're in that second place position, you basically have the race in your hands. The leader can put up a block on you. However, it could risk in taking you
Macho's
and
pit road.
themselves out. Yeah, we see Fernando Matos taking the pits right now. He's probably going to take 4 tires and fuel and try to make it to the end this race. As we also have, as I was saying before, though, with the top 2 drivers and running second and first, whenever in this current package right now, running in first place, you're really at a disadvantage because of just how strong the draft is on every single track. It's just being in the lead near the end is one of the worst spots to be. Being in second or third is where you really want to be, especially if it's close. As we may see the 14 come to pull into pit road, as Tanner Sharp will be the new race leader, as he's pitting by himself, unfortunately. So maybe that will work out for him. I have no idea. It very well could, but Tanner's going to try to take this as long as he can.
Yeah, we're seeing a bunch of drivers go down pit road now. I would say about half the current lead lap field has gone down pit road. This time by is actually your top 5 are the only drivers that have yet to go down pit road. Tanner Sharp, Kyle Zimmer, Adam Capers, Billy Wise, and Brian Lowhead. We saw Kyle Zimmer stay out ridiculously late. I'm not sure if he's going to be doing the same thing this time by, but Tanner Sharp slowing it down, going down pit road, cannot afford to go any more laps without pitting now that his closest competitor has gone down pit road. Same thing with Kyle Zimmer. He's going down pit road. Adam Capers as well. Pretty much the rest of the field is down pit road as Brian Lowhead appears to maybe have had an issue there. He's actually never mind. He is slowing down for pit road as well, just being extremely conservative there on his slow down. Other than that, everybody else appears to have gone down pit road. AJ Digby would be your race leader, probably getting back up on the racetrack. He has a 4-second lead over Hetty Hawks. It seems like whatever AJ Digby did might be working out, as it depends on where Kyle Zimmer and these other guys come back out of pit road. As we'll see how much of a differential it's going to be. As Alan Capers, 11.3 second stop. That's 4 tires. That's one of the best 4-tire stops I've ever seen. But there goes AJ Digby to the race lead. And he's going to have a pretty big distance over these other guys. And AJ Digby also had an 11-second stop. Wow, he had an 11-second flat stop. I don't... This is... Have they changed it recently? Or is he not taking 4 tires and just taking a long 2-tire stop?
I think they were taking 4. It's just these pit crew that tonight seem to be on the ball, and they're popping out these insane pit times, and they're definitely benefiting most of the drivers here tonight, as we do have a 4-car pack behind AJ Digby, going to try to get back up to the lead. Eddie Hawks at the front of that on the oldest tires of that bunch. And AJ Digby just keeps on just pulling away, and he might have this in the bag depending on how well those 3 drivers run together.
So the good news, bad news situation is AJ Digby has a 3.5-second lead. I don't know how his time differential wasn't that off. Of course, there is another measurement of time spent that we actually don't have access to, and that's time spent slowing down before the first timing line begins. So it seems like AJ Digby just nailed that pit entry because he gained a bunch on time on Tanner Sharp. Of course, Tanner Sharp did stay out 1 additional lap and lost, I would say, maybe a second to half a second. His caution's out. Never mind what I was going to say. Oh, Nate Catilla having himself a good run is... He's got himself a wrecked race car, 17 laps to go, cautions out. He should have faster period to do. But contact there with James Sifa. There was another driver there. We're going to take a look at that. It seems like there was maybe some miscommunication on who went to where on exit report. It was Doug McCollum that was also involved in that incident there. Looks like the number Nicotilla maybe did not know that James Sifa was there. Moved up high just a little bit. I want to take another angle there to just make sure. Let's see. It's going on the blimp camera there. Dave, what are you seeing?
Yeah, it almost seems like Nate off the corner really hard, and just he got really tight coming out of the corner and got into James Sifa. James also wasn't as high as Nate might have thought, so there wasn't as much room there.
Look at this.
Very unfortunate, though.
No, Nate. I think Nate actually ran that corner well. James Sifa, I'm not putting blame on these guys, by the way, but James Sifa, it looks like he did not move his car up high. He left space up high, and Nicotilla probably assumed that he was gonna move up a little. Did not happen, and they made contact, of course, 16 laps ago. Just a racing incident. Nothing bad's pretty much gonna happen out of that. But it just seemed like the 88 just did not go as high as maybe Nicotilla expected, because I think Nicotilla actually nailed that corner.
Yeah, it seemed to me like he nailed it as well, and then yeah, it just seemed like James didn't go all the way to the wall, and unfortunately they got together, and I believe James will have to take a faster spray this time by, as he does have smoke coming out of his back end right now. So it's yeah, it's gonna be interesting to see who does what. I don't know if anybody came to the pits or
Yeah,
not.
Eddie Hawks, Fernando Matos, Alan Capers. Oh, pardon me, Fernando Matos did not go down pit road. He stayed out. So actually, everybody except for the current top five, AJ Digby, Tanner Sharp, Kyle Zimmer, Billy Wise, and Fernando Matos, have gone down pit road. So everybody, and except of course the lap down vehicle, so everybody else is down pit road. That's interesting for sure. I really don't think it's going to be much of a difference, considering that the leaders, AJ Digby, Fernando Matos actually has the worst tire situation that 6 laps ran. It's not going to make much of a difference. These guys are going to be taking either 4 tires or 2 tires. I'm sure it's going to work out. Eddie Hawks is actually second or third when he went down pit road. So he may actually be losing a lot of spots there. But Dave, I don't know. 5 laps of green flag yeah, 4 laps of green flag condition. Would you have gone down pit road?
I might have, yes, just try to get that little bit of an advantage if the race ends up going a bit longer than it might you might think it would. And if they do have a long green flag run, then these guys that came down to pits, so starting with Eddie Hawks all the way down to the back of the field, will most likely have a slight advantage on most of these drivers. Maybe not right away, but if this does go green, like I said, for the next round, let's just say roughly 12 laps or so green, then I think coming around with like 5 to go, we'll start to see these tires kick in, and these drivers start to move up in the field.
Yeah, well said. Why don't we go and see if we can actually talk to our race leader, AJ Digby there. Would you like to interview him, or do you want me to take care of that?
Oh, you can take this one, Carlos.
All right, no problem. Let's go ahead and bring in our current race leader, AJ Digby. And AJ, so far you've had a fast car. Tanner Sharp's always been up close to you, pushing you straightaways. Do you think you have what it takes to win tonight's race?
Yeah, this Will Warsa Racing Team car is really fast, and I know the 3 cars right with me. I pushed him kind of in that first section of the race. He was there kind of just behind me in the second section, so I think us two have definitely distinguished ourselves as some competitors at this race. And I know Kyle and Eddie have some fast cars too. I know Eddie had a little bit of right side damage that hurt him on that last stint, and Kyle had to work through some traffic. So who knows what those guys might be able to bring to the table, as well as some of the others. But I know there's 14 and 3, and all the Will Warsa racing machines are real fast tonight.
All right, well said. And 14 laps to go. Obviously, it's go time. What's your strategy these last couple laps?
I don't really know if there really can be a strategy. When you're at the front, you just want to hold the lead, and that's plain and simple. That's it. You just want to the end. But we're gonna give it all we got. I only have 1 faster pair, so I'm trying not to use that and hopefully not get involved in anything here. But hopefully this thing can get green to the end, and we can get some green flag racing and at least bring the car home in one piece and finish this race hopefully in front. But yeah.
All right, well said, AJ. We wish you the best of luck, and hopefully we get to talk to you once this race is over.
Very much.
All right, and that was your current race leader, AJ Digby. So we heard it right there from the man in the car. Dave, what do you think is going to happen? Who do you have your money on?
I'm gonna have to say right now, I'm gonna have to have it on Kyle Zimmer. Just with him having that bad luck through those last couple runs and being up there right now, he definitely has a strong car tonight, and I believe that he'll be able to make that work tonight as well. And Also, I'd just like to mention as well with the 14 tonight, he's running really well, but I believe he might have won as well on Monday night. So he definitely has this track down to a quarter, and he is just hitting his marks every single lap, holding that lead really well. Tanner working with him for these for most of this race, and I believe that that might change here in these last 10 laps. As usually with 10 to go, you don't really have too many friends with you, so it's going to be really fun to watch these last 10 laps. It's going to be some really hard racing. There might be a bit of contact here and there, but I believe these guys will be able to make it all the way to the end with a green flag run.
All right, well said. I'm kind of thinking Tanner Sharp may have this one as well, but all we'll need to do is see what these guys are going to do. As pace car's going to get ready to go off. 12 laps to go when we restart this race, and green flag's going to get ready to come out one more time. Pace Stewart's waving that green flag as these guys are back on the gas pedal. Crossing the start-finish line, no problems there. Side by side, these two teammates are going for the race win. Billy Wise looking to make it 3 wide on the outside, not helping Tanner Sharp. The 25 is definitely helping the 14. Is going to push the 14 clear past Tanner, as Tanner is not getting any help. Made some contact.
This contact, they all saved it, and they're still going right now. They're too wide all throughout the back. What an amazing save from those two drivers. And they're still driving really hard right now. Like it's not the end for any of these drivers. I know Tanner's always really fast. He's going to try to make his way back up there tonight. But currently the top 3 is AJ Digby, Kyle Zimmer, and Billy Wise. But Eddie Hawk's trying to make that difference. And there's a huge wreck in the back, yes. Caution is out again tonight.
I think Tanner Sharp may have also been involved, so that's not a... Oh, we see right there the 66 of Brian Lowe had hit the outside wall, and it took him down into Tanner Sharp and the 66, and the 33 of Doug McCollum. Let's go back at it one more time and take a look at it from Doug McCollum's point of view. Hits the outside wall, hits Tanner, hits the 33, and I believe one more driver may have been involved. Yeah, the 90 of Travis Zudema just had nothing to do with this, and unfortunately just got a bunch of damages as we're going on board with 33 there. He tried to save it, wasn't able to do it. Here is a 90, nothing to do with that incident, and gets involved anyway, so unfortunate for them. Let's go on board the 3 of Tanner Sharp, see what he saw. Oh, up ahead, a couple other drivers almost hit the outside wall, so he actually may have been concentrating on them. Of course, Tanner Sharp couldn't do anything about that, as we're back under caution.
Yeah, we're definitely starting to see the cold tracks and cold tires start to come into play there with how tight the cars are coming out of the corner. The inside line is really hard to run on these first couple laps on a restart, and especially on cold tires in this track. It doesn't make it too fun. So, I mean, these guys are doing an awesome job though battling this track, and it's been exciting to commentate and awesome to watch as well. And it's definitely nice to see it from a different view, and while it's going on live as well, instead of racing it and seeing it from your own perspective, you don't really know what's going on. So all these drivers will most likely be watching this broadcast after, and I'd just like to shout them all out. Every single driver here is doing an awesome job. It would have been nice to race with them, but I wanted to try out commentating for one race this season at least, and I'm having fun with it, and I hope they all enjoy the stream. And it's definitely been a journey, this race. And the 32 of Billy Wise, I'd also like to add in. That magical butter paint scheme is just one unique paint scheme, and it's awesome to see some paints from him throughout the season. Know that he painted my 3-wide TV racing car for all 3 series that I race in, so I'd like to thank him for that. But he's doing an awesome job this race, as he always tends to do. He always really picks up to speed near the very end of the race when it really matters, and he's doing an awesome job tonight so far with that 3rd place number 32 magical butter car.
Pardon me, you got me yawning there as I tried to say something, but when you're like mid-yawn, you cannot move that jaw. As I was like, oh god, don't stop right there. I want to say something, I can't do it, and now I can finally talk. But yeah, Pardon me there. Yeah, but we were talking to Billy Wise, I think the race before or on Daytona, where he was talking about that paint scheme. And yeah, initially that wasn't going to look like that, but with Magical Butter getting a redesign, he figured it was a perfect time to get that. The paint scheme changed and to make it look like their current logo. So Magical Butter gets a redesign, and number 32 gets a redesign. And hey, you know what? I'm not complaining. That car looks just beautiful.
It does indeed, and there's a lot of beautiful paints in this league. I've come to find out, and some of them are made from the drivers themselves, and some of them are made from Billy. So he definitely does an awesome job, and so does everybody else. All the paints are awesome in this league, and most of them do support the SimPossible League logo on the back of the car or on the sun visor as well. These yeah, it's this league is definitely one awesome league to be able to spectate and just even be able to race in as well, being fortunate enough to race in it. And it's like I said earlier on in this race, all these guys do an awesome job throughout the race, and it's really is tough racing with even like me with one hand, which may not be the most extreme, but some of these guys that race with these hand controls, I do not know how they do it, but they do an awesome job at it, and it's definitely fun to be able to race with them. And they yeah, throughout the past 2 years, they definitely grown in speed, and it's making it a lot harder for me whenever I used to race a lot more, I was a lot faster. But these guys are doing an awesome job this year, and these years just developing their speed and just learning every single track, learning how to race with each other, and it's proven to show off some awesome racing. And we're going 2 wide here, going 1 to green. The pace car lights are off, so we will be hitting the green flag next time by. So let's see how this last little stint brings us.
You did it again. You caught me mid-yawn, man. You gotta stop doing that. It's pardon me. It's just I've been incredibly exhausted these last couple of days. But that's how I'm gonna end pretty much soon, especially with spring break coming up. I don't have any days off, but we got Tuesdays off actually, so next week no broadcast on Tuesday, so I'll make it a little bit easier. But yeah, it's just I'm just excited for the end of this race. 8 laps to go. Restart on 7 laps to go. Remember, these guys here do have 3 attempts at green, white checkers, and we have one time gone to the 3rd attempt to finish the race. Actually, it was recently. I cannot remember if we finished the race under green or if we finished it under caution. Dave, do you know what I'm talking about?
I believe so, yes. I kind of zoned out there for a little bit on what you were saying, but we're about to go back green, so I'll try not to answer that question. I will answer it if there is another caution.
Sure.
But I hope there isn't a caution. This racing is awesome, and they're gonna go back green here very soon. The number 14 gonna lead them off as the pace car starts to pull off. There it goes. They're all lined up right now. It's double file, and I believe the green flag is out now. Nope.
Not yet?
I
Now.
jumped it. There now it is. They're all allowed to go. The number 25, sorry, on the outside of AJ Digby with his teammate the 45 trying to push him to the lead. The number 32 of Billy Wise right behind AJ Digby. They're all really tight coming into turn 1.
Oh, the
there
wreck
13.
behind.
There's contact, huge wreck in the back, and unfortunately, the 99 got involved too. What a tragic day for that car.
So let's take a look at that. Looks like there was a checkup there that caused the 13 to slow down and actually turned incredibly well into Fernando Matos and made contact with a couple of the drivers, including the 99, and I believe that was also the one of Thomas Wise. Let's take a look at it one more time, this time from the point of view of Fernando's vehicle. Came back down on the 99. I'm not sure if Thomas Wise got some damage or if he was able to just like slide out of the way. Let's take a look in here on board one. Oh, he got just a little bit of damage there right at the end. That would have been so cool if he missed that. Unfortunate though, but yeah, a couple drivers there with some damage, and we're at the point of this race where we're running out of fast repairs.
Yeah, it's coming to the end, and it's getting really tight on fast repairs. We heard AJ Digby say that he only had one left. Some of these drivers I don't think have any left at all, so it's definitely making for some really tight racing and making the cars really tight as well with any little bit of damage. So that's why we kind of see them sliding up the track as well, not just the track temps. It's damage can be a result of that as well. So it's definitely tough whenever you have damage. It slows you down, makes you tight, and it's not a fun time. And whenever you run out of fast repairs, you just gotta really pray for the best. I know whenever I did Las Vegas here last week, I had some damage near the end, and I just tried to make it to the end. However, the car was really damaged, and unfortunately, I don't think I got a top 10. I may have, but it was all honestly just luck, and I'm trying to avoid those last couple wrecks that happened that race. But these guys, again, like I've said many times, this race are doing an amazing job, and the just the fact that like SimPossible has become more of a family than a racing league. I'd find like they're all outside of the races. They're all really kind to one another, and they're all supportive of each other. So it's definitely really exciting to be part of this, and I'm sure Carlos, you enjoy broadcasting these races
yeah.
and commentating on some of them as well. So it's just an experience and a half being up here compared to being a driver.
Yeah, I wouldn't be I wouldn't be out here talking by myself doing races broadcasts if I didn't like you guys, if I didn't like hanging out with you guys, if I didn't like anything. But no, I love working with you guys. I love exactly what you guys do, and you guys are just a great group of people to broadcast week in and week out.
Yeah, and that's there's to be a long season ahead. That's only early on in the season. We're on race 3 out of 30 something, and it's a long season. We will be returning to multiple tracks twice in the year. I believe we do come to Las Vegas again later on in the year for a night race, so that one will change it up a lot compared to how it was last week in the sun. But this race as well, it's definitely been very tight racing throughout. It's been very fast as well, very fast times. All the drivers are starting to get a bit more comfortable with the car, but coming to the end, you just gotta kind of throw all that experience out the door and just try to do your best to try to push to the lead and just try to get a better position than you currently have.
All right. Well, we've got some time. Why don't we see if we can talk to the 32 of Billy Wise and I'll let you talk to your fellow driver there, and you can talk to him about his paint scheme. Let's go ahead and bring him in, and here he is in the booth.
Hey Billy, it's David up here in the 3Y TV booth. Do you got a copy?
Hey, what's up, David? How you doing up there in the booth, buddy?
Oh, not too bad. It's been an exciting race to watch tonight, and yeah, I see you're up there in third place, and you were kind of hanging in the back a little bit earlier on in the race, and now you're up there. So, what was your strategy throughout this race to make it up to the front where you are right now?
Oh, that was it. The first half, we were just gonna ride around, and I think I kind of caused the caution. Maybe that first caution, I got loose on the bottom, and then we went to the tail end of the pack. So we just decided to ride around for a while, and with pit stops, I don't know. Here we are in third. So
Well, it seems to have worked in your favor, and it's been definitely exciting to see that awesome 32 magical butter paint scheme running around this track. And yeah, it's gonna be tight coming to here at the end. Do you have any strategies on what you're gonna try to do here at the end, rather than just try to push really hard to the wind? Do you got any other strategies that you might have to have in play, or?
no, man, we're just gonna try to keep clean. Let's see, we'll be behind AJ here. We're gonna try to push him, and if the opening does come up, we'll go for it.
Awesome to hear. And one last question before we let you go. Do you have any fast repairs left?
I do. Yep, I went around quite a bit with a little bit of damage to the rear end, but I saved my fast repairs, and we have one left.
Awesome to hear that, and I wish you luck in this hopefully last green white checkered, and we hope that you can take that car to the win. And it's been awesome seeing you race, and awesome being in the booth here tonight. So yeah, we're gonna wish you good luck here and let you go with this one to go restart.
All right, thanks, buddy, and we miss you out here on the track.
Thank you.
I didn't think Billy would try to peer pressure you to get back in the track, but honestly, I think it may be a little bit too late for you to get back on the track now. Yeah, restarting to go. This will not be a green-white checkered attempt. This will be a natural green-white checkered. So we should still have 3 more attempts unless iRacing would be automatically throwing one. I don't believe it works like that. I think this one will be a natural green-white checkered. But, it's going to be exciting to see who's going to win here tonight. Base car's going to get ready to pull off the racetrack any second now, any moment now. There he goes. Pace car is off. These drivers are itching to get themselves back to racing conditions here for a green-white checkered. Green flag is back out. Next up will be the white flag, hopefully, and then the one after that will be the checkered unless a caution comes out at any point. These drivers do a great job already, battling side by side. Nobody's giving an inch. Both lines are formed. That outside line may be a little bit better formed, but the inside line has the advantage. Going down through turns 1 and 2. The 14 of AJ Digby clearing the rest of the drivers. No problem there, but the number 25 looking on the outside line. Digby blocking the best he can. Kyle Zimmer nowhere to go, but pushing the number 14 into turns number 3 and 4 as Billy Wise gets cleared, going a little bit wide, almost making some contact. No problem there. Eddie Hawks up against to third as the 32 Billy Wise smacking the outside wall, going side by side. I believe that's Tanner Sharp in 6th place. Last lap here at Auto Club. No yellow going to be happening. This race will be finishing under green flag conditions as AJ Digby not giving up here so far. Getting a little bit of a challenge by Kyle Zimmer, of course, getting the advantage on the inside line. Kyle Zimmer's getting the run on the outside line. Battling side by side here in the backstretch. Entering numbers 3 and 4. Eddie Hawks in good position to win this race if something happened to these guys. That 14 of AJ Digby doing a great job, but that outside line may have just that little bit of oomph. These guys are going side by side here for the finish line, and that's, I don't know. AJ Digby won? I think he won. Wrecking in the back.
iRacing currently, the iRacing telemetry is currently showing that he won the race. AJ Digby won, and it's yeah, it was an awesome finish there, side by side photo finish between Kyle Zimmer and AJ Digby, and AJ Digby taking up this win tonight for a sweep in the SimPossible series for this track this weekend. So it's awesome job by him, awesome race all throughout. Led most of the laps tonight as well. Awesome job by Kyle Zimmer too to have such a close finish. It was 1/100th of a second for that finish. So well done by those two drivers. And yeah, I guess we're gonna have to see what happened in that last caution there, the wreck in the back, I believe, in coming out of turn 4.
Yeah, that was the 9 to 10 Masters. As I guess that's it for my voices. Just talking that one sentence there. It's gone. Taking a look here with Tim Masters. Maybe something happened up ahead. Yeah, something with the number 32 of Billy Wise. Was able to finish ahead of the 9. Oh, just got clipped. I think Nicotella also had an issue there. Let's go back one more time and see maybe just what happened. I'm forgetting something. That's right. We have a race winner. They were doing burnouts. I do apologize, AJ Digby, for not getting the burnout there for you. We're going to go back and take a look at that incident one last time once they're done. But congratulations, AJ Digby, on winning tonight's race. Definitely well-deserved, and going to be going home happy tonight for sure.
Yeah, I would be too if I managed to win both races here in SimPossible for both series, and he did an awesome job tonight, leading, like I said, most of the laps, and he's still celebrating here, having a great time. Might even do a reverse victory lap, and it was definitely exciting to see this race and watch him win this one.
Well said, well said. We're going to go ahead and take a quick break, listening on to the number 14 do some celebrations, and we'll be right back with your top 3 finishers.
the most realistic online racing sim ever made. This is iRacing. Detailed laser scan tracks, fully dynamic real world cars, and over 50 series to choose from. 6 online world championships offering over $100,000 in annual prizes. This is the original esport racing game. This is iRacing.
All right, and we're back here with a thrilling conclusion to this race. And actually, before we do go ahead and chat with our third place finishers and our other top 3 finishers, why don't we go ahead and actually quickly go through the race results there. Usually we say that to the end, but I feel like let's change it up a bit. You know, new season, third race in. Let's give it a little bit of that old pizzazz there. Change it up a bit. AJ Digby getting your win. Cal Zimmer in second place, definitely charging off AJ, but just was unable to get that little bit right there. Actually, we didn't actually look at how close that was. 1/100th of a second there. That's it's gonna be either the third or the second fastest finish or closest finish there for these guys. Eddie Hawks finishing third. We'll be chatting with him momentarily. Kevin Crockham finishing fourth. Tanner Sharp getting a nice finish. I know that's a finish he's definitely wanted for a bit. Fernando Matos currently at finishing sixth with Brian Lohet in seventh. Billy Wise will be finishing eighth. Tom Johnson ninth, and Thomas Wise will be finishing 10th there. Dave, why don't you go ahead and give me the rest?
Finishing in 11th, we had the 4 of Nick Attila. In 12th, we had the 9 of Tim Masters. In 13th, we had the 88 of James Afa. In 14th, we had the 13 of Alan Capers. 15th, we had the 99 of Johnny Berardi. We know he had quite a few troubles this race. We had the 16th, we had the 33 of Doug McCullum, and rounding off the end of the race, in 17th, we had the 90 of Travis Zuma.
Yeah, that's true. So that'll be pretty much it for the guys that finished the race. But why don't we go ahead and have a quick chat with our third place finisher, Eddie Hawks. And Eddie, I know you're there. You got yourself a nice clean finish. That 14 laps. I thought maybe you could have also won this race. Just how did it go for you overall? Eddie? Is Eddie there? I'm not sure Eddie's there then. I thought he was.
You got
here.
me?
Yeah, I got you. Hey, how you doing, Eddie?
Yeah, sorry. Yeah, I had a couple close calls there. Went back, I think, to 16th, 15th at one time, but I short pitted. I thought that's about my only chance, and actually it worked out pretty good. But yeah, there in the end, those guys were fast in front of me. There was no getting around it.
Yeah, that's something that I was mentioning during the broadcast. You pitting in very early worked out. You actually would have more than likely been second or before that final caution or a couple cautions came out. But yeah, ended up finishing third. Got yourself a nice clean run going on to Phoenix next week. Are you looking forward to that racetrack?
Yeah, it's another flat track. It's not really one of my favorites, but I seem to be adapting pretty decent to this Cup car. I never run the A car much, so this is kind of my first season. So I'm quite liking it, actually.
Well, you've already got yourself a win here in this series, and you're doing pretty well in the point, especially with the third place finish. That championship run looking very, very possible for you here. But yeah, so after that, of course, we're going to Homestead. It'll be a track a little bit, not exactly like this, with some momentum-based track. But before we do let you go, Eddie, so you can celebrate that third place finish, why don't you go ahead and give me some shout-outs?
Yeah, thank you guys first. I can't wait to get off here and watch it and see what that save looked like here in about the middle of the race. I got to thank Jeff, definitely for sure, for putting all this stuff on, and my teammates. Missed a couple tonight. Dave's up there talking to you guys, and Chris, I think he's bowling. But anyway, we had a second and third finish, so we can't be too sad about that team-wise.
All right. Well said, Eddie. We're gonna let you go ahead and have a nice, clean night. We'll be seeing you next week.
All right. Thanks, guys.
All right, so that was your third place finisher, Eddie Hawks. Let's go ahead and see if we can have a nice chat with your second place finisher, and that is, I thought I brought him down. I guess I did, and that's going to be Kyle Zimmer out there. And Dave, why don't you go ahead and give us a nice chat with Kyle?
Well, awesome race there, Kyle. Really unfortunately you didn't get that win. I know you're probably somewhat bummed out about that one, but you still had an awesome race, got second place. Can you tell us a little bit how your race went?
Yeah, it was a great race. So close getting another win. I mean, last Daytona and today came up very short. But it's been a great strong start off the season. And but anyways, yeah, the overall race. I had a very fast car, and I felt like I had the best car in the long run. Was able to save tires and early on, and not to be too aggressive on it. Yeah, and we were able to battle up the front, and then the contest with Allen, and kind of set us back, and we both went back to the front, battle for the lead. Pit stop came, and then we had a couple cautions. I also want to mention, apologize to Tanner at the one contest we made with like the 12 to go or some. I don't know what exactly happened, but it looks like we kind of touched. He kind of stayed in the lane. I kind of moved up at the same time. So, I want to apologize to him for that incident there. And then we had another yellow or two before set up the last two laps. I want to kind of set up the last corner to behind AJ, but it wasn't enough. And I got too far ahead than what I wanted to be into tucking in the corner, and kind of lost a little bit of speed there. But was able to get a lot of momentum off the turn forward, and was able to close in on to him to check a flag, but just wasn't enough. But I'd take second place tonight.
Yeah, and I would too. It was an awesome race to watch, and yeah, I'm glad for you that you got that second place finish. It was very, very tight, but luckily you were able to get a top 3 out of this race, so it's going to be good for the points. How are you looking forward to the next week at Phoenix for 200 miles?
Yeah, and Phoenix, one of my best tracks and on schedule. I would say I know I have done really well in the B car series last year. I think I led most lap both races last year. But I came home short at those both races, so I'm definitely looking forward to it, and hopefully can able to get a win there. I've been so close. I think I finished second place 4 times there, and every trip we have gone there. So hopefully we can get one spot forward to get a win. So it's gonna be a long race. So I think I don't know, because I know the new iRacing build is coming. So I don't know if they're gonna be applied to the 2020 short track package or not. But it's definitely gonna be a little bit more challenging with more horsepower, so more tire saving. So definitely could be fun to watch next week.
That is for sure, and very well said. So one last thing, I guess, before we let you go. Do you have any shout-outs that you'd like to have, or that you'd like to tell everybody?
Yeah, I'd definitely like to shout out to you guys on Greenline TV for broadcasting this week. Also want to thank Jeff for creating this link once again, and everyone participating in the link. I also want to thank my team, Potage Racing, for all the support, and also want to thank my sponsor, BW Design, Hot Simwork, for all their support, and all the fans that support me. Definitely looking forward to next week at Phoenix.
All right. Well, I guess we'll let you go. I'll say congratulations one last time on that second place finish. Really good for the points, and I'll look forward to seeing you back on track next week.
All right, and that was your second place finisher, Kyle Zimmer. Great job by Kyle. But one last thing we gotta do here is interview. Well, a couple of last things we gotta do, but we also gotta talk to your first place finisher, AJ Digman. Bringing him up in the booth. Here he is, just finishing celebrating in victory lane. AJ, man, you got yourself another win here, finishing first in both races here this week. Just how was this week for you tonight? How was this race in general?
Clearly, it was a pretty good weekend. Got the sweep here. Definitely have always liked Auto Club. It's a track that kind of fits the way I like to run. I really don't like this car, but it's always good confidence boost. Good to be able to come away with in this car. Hopefully that confidence can get into the next. Yeah, just really like this track. It was able to work into the way I was driving it, and that 14 Woolworths Racing Zulu Motors machine fast tonight. Got to thank Chevy Power for that. And yeah, my dad was spotter/crew chief tonight. Really helped out. Called a really good race all race, and he was the one that first told me when I got the win, because it was so close that I wasn't even gonna know for sure until I checked racing. So, but all in all, it was a great weekend. Had a really fast race car. Both me and Tanner did as well. So I think us two were kind of the best of the field most of the night. Obviously, some of the other top guys had a little bit of issues. Kyle got caught back in the back. Eddie got a little bit of front right damage, but Tanner and I were kind of able to lead and push up ahead, and it was kind of just us two, I felt like, for almost the entire night until he got tapped in the side. So would have been nice to have a 1-2 for WWR, but I'll come away with the win, be happy with it. He got back up into the top 5, and celebrate this week and the double win, but look forward into next week and hopefully keep the momentum.
All right, well said. Well, next week you guys are going to Phoenix here during spring break, and what are your thoughts on that one?
Phoenix is one of my favorite tracks. As I said on Monday night, it kind of has that road course type of feel, being a small track. I like the short ovals. I know I like Auto Club, but it's kind of in its own regard, because normally this type of track I don't like, but Auto Club's one that I like. But short ovals and road courses I've always loved. So I'm excited to get into Phoenix and run some short ovals and see what we can do continuing next week. Hopefully ride this high of a wave into next.
All right. Well, before we do let you go so you can celebrate that win, why don't you give us some of the sweet shout outs?
Well, first and foremost, shout out to my dad, my spotter/crew chief, helping me out all race. Owner Will Worsler for popping in. Everybody at Will Worsler Racing definitely helped out tonight, especially with Tanner just kind of sitting in line and not really pushing the issue on me. I did earlier in the race, just kind of followed him as well. You guys for the broadcast, I'm really excited to go back and watch this, especially with that finished. Kyle for racing me hard, but also at the end. Wish he didn't tap Tanner there, but it's whatever. Got to move on to next week, and he raced me clean to the end, so got to give him props for that, and had a good. Jeff for everything that he does for the league and great racing. Also, I'm not sure who all was watching other than my fiance, so shout out to her and anybody else who was watching and cheering me on tonight.
All right, thank you. Well said. And AJ, we hope you have a great week, and we'll be looking forward to seeing you next week.
Very much.
All right, and last but not least, we have one more person we need to speak to, and well, normally I usually have the honors of talking to this person. You know what? I'm a little hungry, and there's a little pizza stand right there. Dave, why don't you go ahead and talk to the league owner?
Hey Jeff, how you doing, man?
What's up, Dave? Amazing job tonight, man. That was very cool to see you in the booth, and I was listening while I was adminning, and you did a heck of a job, man. You definitely have some talent there calling the race. We appreciate you doing that for us.
Yeah, thank you. I had a lot of fun doing it, and it was awesome seeing all these guys race tonight. And sorry, so I have a question for you. How do you think this race went in perspective of a league owner tonight?
Hey, I'm happy if the guys are happy, and the guys were having fun the whole time. So, no matter what really happens on track, as long as everyone has a good time and everyone comes out being as good of a friend as they were with each other, then I would say that's been successful. But the racing was amazing, so we really got the better of both worlds there tonight.
Yeah, there was quite a few long green flag runs too, some green flag pit stops made for a lot of strategy throughout this race, and it was definitely really fun to watch. And it would have been fun to race as well, but it's definitely a different experience being up here, and it was really enjoyable. Yeah, so how are you looking forward to Phoenix next week? How do you think that one's going to go?
I'm excited for Phoenix, and I'm not sure everyone is. I think a lot of the guys are. Some guys may not like it so much. It races like a short track. I mean, it kind of is. Races kind of like a road course in a sense too. So, we got some guys here that are really good road course racers, and they like that style of track. I personally do as well. But what's most important, I think, is that that's where we're going to be crowning a champion at. So it's going to give us a little bit of insight of what to expect with both cars, being the B car and the Cup car there, and kind of the guys playing around maybe with pit strategy and seeing what they can do to carry that over to the championship race.
Yeah, for sure. And it's Phoenix is not one easy track to race on. It's definitely really tough. I believe I have one victory there in the past year of SimPossible, and I was very fortunate to get it. It was not an easy win, and none of these wins are ever easy. All these guys are doing an excellent job every week. They're all really fast, and they're getting faster by the day. So it's very interesting to see how it is from my history of winning quite a few races to not winning as much anymore. It's just making me push harder and harder to try to practice to get these races going, and it's definitely really awesome to watch these guys out here tonight, and it's going to be good to go back and race against them next week as well. But Carlos, do you have anything else to say to Jeff?
Yeah, I do. First of all, how dare you, Jeff? How dare you be such a fantastic person and make me look bad? Who do you think you are?
Did I miss something?
No, it's just 3 races into the season. We've had 3 fantastic finishes. This one, I don't actually know quite the records. 1/100th of a second. That's got to be either the second or third closest finish in league history. We're gonna get that pretty soon. But what a fantastic start to the season. It's something I can't wait to see and have it and see these guys run around and have a great time. But I guess one last thing. I don't know, Dave, did you give him the shout outs? Because I was enjoying that pizza. No,
say that again. Sorry.
Did you ask Jeff for any shout outs? Yeah, give me them shout outs. Give me them shout outs, Jeff.
Yeah.
No, yeah. Well, we got to thank Dave for being in the booth. That was so amazing, man, to hear his voice up there. It's it was a whole different kind of a viewpoint from him, usually being in the car and racing with these guys, to being up in the booth. But it was also, in my eyes, a different viewpoint of listening to him instead of kind of watching him race on track. So it was interesting, and he did a heck of a job, man. Dave, you did it awesome. You really have a talent for that. And I thought it was really cool, too, because you know these guys. You've raced with them so many times, and you brought a lot more kind of insight into it compared to maybe someone that hasn't raced with us or knows everyone as well as you do. So thank you so much for all the awesome commentating you did tonight and all the kind things that you did say about us. I surely appreciate that. I got to give a shout out to all the drivers, man. We love every single one of them. We would do anything for any of them, like anything. That's why it's so important that we do find a sponsor eventually. Because if we find a sponsor that's willing to donate some money, there's a lot of things that we can do to help some of these drivers out. Other than that, I got to thank all the viewers, everyone that views the races, man. Thank you so much for coming out and watching the races. It's a blast. We love every single one of you. And everyone else that's ever helped us out along our way. And yeah, we're going to keep on keeping on, man.
All right, well said. But that's actually gonna pretty much do it out here for us tonight. As I want to personally thank Dave for tuning in with us and just knocking it out of the park here. His first broadcast, Jeff. I don't know if you noticed. I got dropped a little bit after a couple laps into this race. And I didn't even get a chance to tell him. I didn't get a chance to tell Dave to do radio style broadcast. Dave was on it, on top of it, and spoke throughout it like a champion. While I was frankly trying to reset this and trying to get it figured out, and wow, he did not miss a beat, Dave. You are a hero out there tonight for your first time. He doesn't do any broadcasting. This is awesome. Anyway, want to thank OCR TV for providing the wonderful graphics package we've been using, and SimTV for providing the wonderful camera package that we have been using. I want to thank everybody that's been tuning in, everybody that's going to be tuning in, and everybody that has helped make this thing possible. And we'll see you next week. See ya!